Hello, my name is Ethan Thomas. This is my brother Evan. Say hello.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
He is in an orange chair. I'm in a red chair. Which color is better? Let us know in the comments. All right, bro. So today we got a fun little topic. We want to talk about relationships and why it's so important to be whole before you get into one.
Very, very important.
You want to start us off with just some thoughts about like your own experiences and not being whole and getting into a relationship and like how that affected everything.
I mean, I think that, how do I put this? I think in a relationship, the key thing and the most ideal thing, in my opinion, is growing with your partner and growing and loving and changing. But you always have to get into the relationship with the right mindset and the right level of maturity. So you don't have to be completely 100% whole. You have to be in the right headspace, and you have to know right from wrong necessarily to like be on a good and a good path, a decent path to become healthy with your significant other. And it takes a lot. It does take a lot, and it takes a lot of maturity and growth. And you can make a lot of mistakes. That's the whole point of being with someone, is making mistakes and learning from them and learning about yourself. But like if you don't have a basic understanding of emotions, of your emotions or just emotions in general, then you're gonna get off on the wrong footing and a bad foundation. And speaking from like experiences, just about, when you're young, you can make mistakes. But as I was growing up, as I get into relationships and where I am now, I realized I've made a lot of mistakes in my past relationships regarding just maturity and everything in general. But I mean, I feel like that was key to teach me and show me who I am, and I was meant to go through things like that. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be right now here with my boy Ethan. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be with my boy Ethan, and we wouldn't be sitting down right here talking about relationships.
That's
I
true.
mean, everything's essential, especially coming from Ethan, who's been through a lot, who's gone through a lot regarding relationships, who just wants to be, my boy just wants to be loved, bro.
It's true.
He wants to be loved, bro. And sometimes love fucking sucks, bro. It sucks, bro. But it's beautiful at the same time.
It is, bro. It is. And I think the love that sucks is here to show us the contrast, Like, how would you even know a love is good if you never had a love that sucked? Facts, bro. Facts. I really like all those thoughts you had, and I definitely agree with, like, when we say being whole, it's not like you know yourself 100% before, like, you're never going to know yourself 100%. And the purpose of a relationship, in my opinion, like Evan said, is to grow and change with this person, to see how this person can accelerate your growth, accelerate like your spiritual path, like stuff like that. But I think what being whole means is knowing your boundaries, right? Because being in a relationship, bro, it's tough if you don't have boundaries, bro.
It's tough, bro.
You're just going to get pushed on, and everything you don't want to happen will happen because you have, like, I used to struggle with this a lot. I'd be like, I'd have the boundary in my head, but I didn't like understand I could express it. And then when, like, whoever I was with, this doesn't even apply strictly to relationships. It could also be just like my friendships. When they would like cross this invisible boundary, I would build up a wall because it's like, oh, they're just like everybody else. They're just gonna hurt me. But like, they didn't know the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know the boundary, and I didn't know it was okay to state it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to go into a relationship, you got to know what you want and what you don't want. And I feel like a lot of people don't like want to accept that. Like, they just want to go distract themselves with somebody else and somebody else's presence so that we don't have to sit with the things that are uncomfortable, because there's a lot of things that are so uncomfortable that we got to sit with, like heartbreak. Some people will just get out of a relationship that really took it out of them and just go look for somebody else. And really, it's not fair to that other person. You don't know yourself anymore because your old world has been destroyed. You're not that person anymore, and you have to re-find yourself after losing a part of you that was so vital to who you are.
I feel that, bro. And like you said, like, you don't have to be 100% whole, but for example, when you're getting out of a relationship, a good common trend within people is with a distraction, like not being on that self-healing journey not finding yourself, especially after, like you said, you lost your whole world, you lost your home. Whether you're with that person for a year, 5 years, 10 years, freaking 3 months, you still lost such a vital piece in your life, and you don't know where to go. And sometimes most people don't know how to deal with those feelings and those emotions, so they chase, or they try to attract. They find distractions or something that can help hide their emotions because they don't want to sit with it and they're scared to sit with it. And it's okay to be scared, but that's just how life is. You're gonna have things you're scared about. You're gonna have things that you're upset about. And the number one goal, or the number one process to get through it, is to just sit with it. You gotta sit with it. You gotta sit with literally everything, bro. That's how you heal. That's how you heal. A trend within boys right now is like getting hoes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like getting hoes, quote unquote. But like, you know what you're doing. You're just scared to sit with yourself, so you're distracting yourself with the girls, and what you're just running through people's lives and ruining them. And you're just, because you just want that quick dopamine. Like, you want to get a nut off, or you want to snap a girl, or text a girl, or hang out with the girl to say you did it. You're
Like
not
dudes who
chasing
are
a
addicted
connection.
to the talking stage,
The talking stage, bro.
just talk for 2 weeks and then leave it there because
Yeah,
that's
bro.
like the dopamine hit. Or
It's
another
true.
example of like kind of like dopamine hits that we get from unhealthy habits. I used to be honest, this is something like I used to struggle with. I used to like, and I just sat with this like last week. I used to get a huge dopamine hit from like being with a girl that was like guarded, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then like her opening up. But then like a lot of times, like there was so much meaning attached to this. This girl was guarded. Probably wasn't going to go well. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And then it ends, and I'm like, well, the world is over. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because I attached such a meaning to being with someone that's like, oh, they have never told anybody this, or like they've never told anybody that, I've never expressed themselves like that, and they can only do that around me, which is like nice. But really, when you get in a relationship, you want to be with someone who's whole as well. And whole just means like they can talk with their friends when they need to, they can express their feelings when they need to. If you're going to get with someone who, when they start to feel things, they just go
close
inward,
off.
and like they get mean because they can't sit with themselves, like that's not fun. It's not fun at all.
It isn't, bro. It isn't. Completely understand what you're saying, bro. I feel that.
Hell yeah. I
I
actually
feel
have a
that.
thought about the getting host thing. Everyone's saying there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying there is anything wrong with that, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand how imperative it is to protect your energy
That's
sexually
true.
and romantically.
That's true.
Right? So like when you have sex with someone, you're like creating this knot between your souls. And if you don't know that's there, it's always going to be there. So then
Yeah.
if you're having sex with a lot of people, you're just like stringing yourself out, and like where's the energy going back that's
Yeah.
coming back to you? There's
Mhm.
none, because you're giving it to all these people.
Yeah. For sure. Protect your energy. I guess I should have defined. I didn't mean to like fucking everything in the world. I feel like you could talk to like a couple girls and like feel okay, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's still not protecting your energy, and you should. You don't have to lay down with like, you don't have to get with a girl like every single freaking time, But like, you know, don't just get into a bunch of relationships and expect something to come out of it because you're just chasing dopamine. I mean, it's really what you're doing. You're just chasing the next feeling you can get from a person. And back to the relationship thing, I feel like in this day and age, dang, I feel like old head, bro. This generation, bro. This generation, this generation, bro.
These damn kids,
These
bro.
damn kids, that damn phone, bro. But where we are now, bro, like energy is like the biggest thing, and I feel like, dang, we're real off topic now. I'm talking about energy, bro. We're talking
Bro,
about
let's just keep going,
relationships.
Loki.
Energy is like the biggest thing, bro. Like, and I feel like people don't really understand that. Like, you gravitate towards people you feel like their energy is comfortable. Like I feel like I'm like a social person, and I'm like a social butterfly, and like I feel like for me and Ethan, everybody feels like they can talk to us because like we give off that energy. Like, we're not like close guarded. We're not like mean. We don't have a, like, you know what I'm saying?
We're
Like,
willing to be vulnerable in a situation where it's uncomfortable,
yeah,
which that's
facts.
life, you know?
That is life. That is life, bro. And everybody's energy is different, And if you're really locked in, you can tap in. You can pick up on that. You can really pick up on that. You can see like in the minute details, like in the mannerisms, how they avoid topics, how they talk about things, the way their body language changes when they bring up certain conversations and things like that, or the past. You can pick up on the energy. And right now, where we're at, like a lot of people can't pick up on that energy, and that's like a vital, like, life. Damn, bro. This shit is on sale for $22 and it's $150. I'm so off topic, but okay, but yeah, energy, bro, it's a big thing.
It is a very big thing, and I agree completely 100%. You know, I feel like a lot of us, super off topic, but we're going to keep going. A lot of us have a religious trauma, and we can't hear things like energy, or we can't hear things like spirituality when it's there. It's always going to be there, and there's nothing we can do about it. $22. So all we can do is learn. And I also view that the same with trauma, or like your shadows, or the things you don't want to look at. Whether you look at it or not, it's going to be there. It's going to be there, and you can just ignore it, but like, it's not going to do anything for you. And so why not just learn everything you can? Learn everything you can about yourself and truly understand what you are, and then learn everything you can about the people around you. You know, be curious. And I feel like if we're not curious with ourselves, we're not curious with other people. Therefore, you're not able to form a meaningful relationship. And that's why it's important to be whole before you get into a relationship.
That's facts.
You like how I reeled it in there?
Yeah, I was on a full circle.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
You did it.
Hell yes,
that's
bro.
why it's so important, bro. Just like being alone, bro. Being alone. Learning to talk to yourself, learning to sit with your emotions is literally the number one thing I feel like in life that needs to be talked about. People can't sit with their emotions and be alone. And I mean, there's a difference between being alone and loneliness. I mean, there's not a difference, but there is. Feeling lonely
There is, because being alone is hanging out with yourself.
Yeah.
Loneliness is you don't know you can hang out with yourself.
You don't know. That's true. And yeah, there is a difference. I'm not gonna lie. But that key factor, just like before you get in a relationship, you should know who you are. And you should love yourself, bro. You should love yourself. Hella.
How are you gonna love someone else if you don't even love the person you are every single day?
Every single day, bro. And that is another big factor as to why relationships fail and people don't walk into a relationship whole because they don't love themselves. And that it's just gonna bring down the people around you. It's gonna bring down your significant other because you're unlovable. How can I love you if you can't even love yourself?
Exactly. So like, ooh, that was good. That was good.
Like, damn.
But it is like that. It's like, say I'm like the person that doesn't love myself, and I'm having like I have this great fine shit has just come into my life, and they're perfect. Like they love me so much, they love everything about me. They're patient. They talk things out. But what I see is, whoa, why are you doing that? I'm not worthy of that. I don't deserve love. I'm not a good person. So I need to, I don't know, spin this in a certain way so that we can be apart because I'm too afraid. That's why you shouldn't get into relationships until you truly do love yourself. And I feel like a lot of people will hear that and they're like, oh, I got to do work. I got to love myself. But yeah, bro, if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and be like, wow, I am a perfect, beautiful, sexy motherfucker, you're not going to love someone to the fullest extent.
And it takes time. It does take time. Don't think it's just like you wake up one day and you're like, dang, I'm the one, bro. I'm literally the chosen one. It's going to take time, bro. It's definitely going to take time.
Yes, sir.
But that process and that journey that's what you need to love. That's how you grow to love yourself. If you don't have that long ass journey, then you learn nothing.
That's true.
Because you got to see the ins and outs. You've got to see the goods and bads. You have to see everything. Because only you know yourself. Only you can change. There's going to only be so much change. You are the only catalyst to your change.
Exactly. No one's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. I feel like a lot of people are like, they get into a relationship and they're like, Jesus Christ, I'm about to be saved. Everything's going to be okay. Things are finally going well. But if you were self-sabotaging situations in your life previously and you're like, oh, this thing's going to save me, you're going to fuck it up.
It's not going to fucking save you.
It's not going to save you, bro. You're going to mess up that situation too, just like you messed up everything else because you convince yourself you mess up everything. And then that's what self-sabotage is. It's like, I need evidence that I mess everything up because thoughts are energy, and then you put that energy out, even if it's just in your head, you are actively manifesting that. And that's why it's so important to be thinking good thoughts about yourself, which doesn't mean don't ever be sad. Don't ever hate yourself. Don't ever be suicidal, because those are parts of you that need to speak up. And then once they speak up, you can listen to them and be like, I understand that time was so hard when we were suicidal, but things are better now. And even if they aren't, you don't need anybody. You only need yourself.
Only yourself, for sure, bro. Beautifully said, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But I feel like, I mean, it always, at the end of the day, it's your life. Like, you're gonna get in a relationship anyway when you feel like, when you think you can, but you can't. Because subconsciously, your subconscious knows everything. Like in the back of your head, you're gonna be like, "Wow, maybe I'm not fit out for a relationship. Maybe I can't do this." But you're gonna get into it anyway. And I feel like that's a crucial part about being whole within a relationship, is getting in a relationship where you're not whole, so you can figure out the rights and the wrongs. Not even figure out, you just see them for yourself, because you see firsthand what's wrong with you and what's wrong with your significant other, so you can learn from your mistakes and stuff. So I mean, the good advice is to go into a relationship go into a relationship whole. But at the end of the day, sometimes you're not going to get into a relationship whole, and you're going to make the mistakes, and you're going to do your partner good or bad, or you're going to get did bad, or you're going to have that avoidant attachment, or you're just going to self-sabotage. But you're going to make those mistakes so you can, for the next time, you know what to do. And it's going to take
then now
time.
you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. You're like, oh, I'm not going to freak out every single time this person doesn't text me within the hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know that you're safe, you're fine. But yeah, I totally agree with Evan that there's gonna be a lot of times we do things that we're not ready for, but trauma and hurt is just an opportunity for growth and an opportunity to dive deeper into yourself and understand who you are, type shit.
That was a bar, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hella.
But at the end of the day, everyone's human, you know. We're bound to make mistakes, especially if you're young. We're two young kids. We feel like we know it all, but 5 years down the line, we're like, wow, what did we even know, bro? Like, we were children. So at the end of the day, just keep living, bro. Keep living. Keep making mistakes. Keep growing. Keep falling in love. Keep getting your heart broken. Keep doing the good and bad things. Keep fucking drinking. Keep smoking. Keep not smoking. Keep doing everything, bro. Keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you're going down a path, and it's going to lead you to where you want to be.
And the only person that understands your path is you. Don't listen to other people. Like, you know, I feel this with a little off topic, but I feel this with like addiction a lot. Like I said this in another video of mine, like I would never, ever, ever judge somebody for what it takes them to get through the day, whether that's alcohol or like harder drugs, stuff like that. Cause like, I'm not you. I don't know how painful it is to wake up or how painful it is to sit with yourself. I haven't been through what you've been through. So hold space for yourself, but also hold yourself accountable.
That's facts. That's facts.
Tight, bro.
Definitely hold yourself accountable. But is that how we're wrapping it up?
I think we're wrapping it up. Okay. This has been Evan. Evan and Ethan Thomas.
And Evan, bro.
Yes, sir, bro.
Yes, sir, bro.
Don't we look like twins?
Hey, bro. I think I'm twinning the glasses.
Yeah, me too,
Glasses. Hey, bro.
It's my brother right here.
My brother.
He's going to start posting his own stuff. I want everybody who sees this to go follow him.
Go follow me.
And give him all the love in the world.
UNOTSHYT on TikTok.
Plug, bro.
Shameless plug. Shameless.
No shame at all.